Welcome back to Animatron University. This is Chapter 2, Intermediate Course of Social Media, and this is going to be our assignment number 3. I'm going to go over what we're going to cover this. Now, this is going to be a ton of stuff to get over, but mostly what I'm looking for in this assignment is really just to get your minds open to all the features and things available to you when it comes to marketing and what you can do with your social media. So, you may have not heard of these before. You may have already be familiar with them. So some of the stuff, hopefully you're kind of a little bit at all places with this. So when it comes to social media, what we're going to refer to as Facebook, Google Analytics, AdWords, Analytics Dashboard, Facebook Ads, Instagram Ads, and creating a target audience. So these are tools that are available. They're not associated with Animatron, but they're ways for you to promote your art on other platforms. Okay, so the first thing, let's go into Facebook ads. So let's see if you're familiar with this before. If you have your own personal Facebook account, so here's just like my Mr. Bray. Say I'm going to promote this. Facebook has this already built in. They've definitely evolved a bunch. If I wanted to create an ad, they already have a nice little preset way to do this. So if you create an ad, so it goes to call to promotion. So I want to promote people clicking on liking my personal website. A lot of this stuff is already set up. However, what we want to focus on today is what are some of the standard sizes for creating these ads. So let's go back. I want to show you here. This website here is it's johnloomer.com, and he has a really cool master guide, all Facebook images, dimensions, and ad specs. And this, of course, is 2015, so things do change. Down below at the bottom of this post, he has a Facebook image dimensions. It's a Pinterest thing here, and it shows you some of these basically safe areas for mobile cover and as far as when you're trying to design, because our next assignment is going to be to actually design an ad that will look good on multiple platforms. And so what that means is, so let's go back into our Animatron file. Let's go duplicate. And if we remember from the beginner course, we had presets for aspect ratios. So go to choose from presets, and let's look at, we have a mobile leaderboard. And the mobile leaderboard obviously is quite small. Let's go back here. And some of these little presets will already fit in with what the kind of ad that you're trying to make. This one, 580 by 400, I believe, is it's very similar to the Facebook mobile ad. I think they changed it recently to 580 by 400 now. So what that would mean is if you wanted an ad that you wanted, let's go back to Animatron. So if you wanted an ad that was kind of Facebook ready, or a newsletters, which we'll get into newsletters in our advanced course, you would want to build your ad to look good in this little canvas here. And that's something that you want to pay attention to. So this is why we duplicate our project. You would duplicate your project, name it Facebook ad, and then duplicate another project and name it, say, Instagram ad, but after you've already designed your artwork. So we're going to get into that in the next assignment, but I want you to be familiar with how that works. Okay, so these are the specs that you want to pay attention to. So when it comes to our next assignment, I want you to refer to these, or refer to our aspect ratios in our assignment here, the presets. Okay, covering through, let's go through Facebook and Google Analytics. So go back here to, let's type in Google Analytics. Okay. Now, there's a lot to learn about Google Analytics, but I just want to get you familiar with the dashboard. And honestly, there's something about that be said just to spending the time just clicking on everything there is to click. So Google Analytics is set up to where you can register your website. So say you have a blog or a domain that's registered with Google. It can track the hits that you're getting. So here's that. Looks like the average page views on some blog that I have is 33. Not that many. So then we have our demographics. So here over on the left we have our audience demographics, so we can tell you overview. So the age of the people that go to my blog, the gender, the interests that people have. So we have affinity categories, we have in market segments. This is something that's basically you kind of see what is the thing that people like about food, this sort of super heavy-duty kind of nerd stuff that I highly recommend that you spend the time to get to know. This is available to you. Learn about Google Analytics by playing with it. I highly recommend that you don't spend any money on any AdWords until you know exactly what you're doing. However, if you want to play with it, if you just want something that's fairly easy to do, I would say let's try out a Facebook ad. This Facebook for Business, if we were to create an ad, so if you click Facebook, I believe if you just Google Facebook Business products.ads, which this will also be available to you in the resource and here in our classes. So click an ad, create ad. Okay, it wants to confirm that we are doing what we're doing. Say we want to boost, promote your page, and I'll do my personal art page. And this here takes us through these demographic information. We can choose where we want this ad to take place, and this is all on Facebook. We can choose the age, men, women, we can enter languages, and this is what's often referred to as A/B testing, where you can create an ad and then you can create a separate ad and you can change subtle things like, say, the difference between how men or women will look at your post. It may make a big difference, it may not, depending on your industry. Then you can create a budget for how you want to do this. Facebook is pretty easy to set this up. It's I would say a little bit more user friendly than the Google one. However, the Google one, I think the results speak for themselves. They are a little bit more impressive in my opinion. So we can choose a budget. We can do a lifetime budget. So you say you only want to do $50, and you can choose when you want it to start. Then you can go manual, so you can do a manual bid amount. So let's say we choose add to create, and so here this kind of generates it from my page that I already have. So I can crop the image, I can do all these different things that I want. However, it's important for you. You can choose a video, you can upload the image. You can if you look at their little aspect ratios for the video. So say you created an animation in Animatron, and you want to export it out at 720p. And then you could bring it in. You can create your own video ads on Facebook just using Animatron. But you'll need to remember some of these little details right here, such as 720p, or recommended aspect ratio is 16:9. So if we were in this preset right here, so we would go 720. Actually, I believe it's 1280 by 720. And if we were actually to look at, I believe the share gives us a custom. So original size 1280 by 720. And if we were to export out this video, so say we want a link to it, or if we want to download it, we could use that for our Facebook ad. And the cool thing is, in Facebook here, when you're starting doing your ads, let's go back here to audience. I believe you can choose Instagram. I've done it before in the past, but things are always changing. You can choose different types of where you want your ad to live, mobile, feed, so if this shows you what it's going to look like if you want your ad on Instagram. And also you can search, say, hey, Instagram ad. It is, since Facebook is owned by Instagram, these little prompts here are going to be the way that you can set up your ad. Now, a thing I want you to think about is, because Animatron allows you to create a design that's a vector base, and you can choose from a preset, or that you can create a copy of that and then make another ad, you could use Animatron as your go-to content creation tool. So you can create all the designs that you want to put on Facebook or Instagram, or even for your website. You can use them all in Animatron. Just copy them and make a separate file that's for Facebook, that's for Google, and that's for Instagram. And you'll just have to remember some of these design specs, and you'll just have to remember where you want to put them. And so I highly recommend that you play with this. Try the free ones out first. Try posting them to your page. Try see how they look on your Twitter account and Instagram as well. So I know this was a crash course in social media kind of platforms for advertising, but I really wanted to let you know some of the tools that are available, such as Facebook ads, which also relates to Instagram ads, Google Analytics, and how Google Analytics, their dashboard, is something that gives you all sorts of great insights. This is something that I would say the more you play with it, the more you get out of it. And as far as how these AdWords work, you can go into Home. You can see this is related to some old blog that I used to use. But let's look at reporting. And then we have your AdWords. So if you want to learn more about, say you're in the dashboard and you want to learn more about AdWords, you can type in here and go AdWords, campaigns, and we have a nice, Google has all these great videos kind of showing you how to set up your AdWords for desktop or mobile or tablet. Now, it's important when it comes to AdWords to figure out where these things are going to live. So if we were to go to Google and we were to type in animatron, the things that come up with Google AdWords where it's promoted is that would be something that's a paid for. Obviously, there's no other website for Google for animatron, but when it says promoted, that's when you know that, okay, so someone paid for AdWords for that. This is something that I highly recommend you spend some time on this analytics dashboard. This is a ninja level marketing, so I've just given you a slight intermediate taste to know that these tools are available to you, and I don't expect you to have any type of mastery over them, but it does take time and effort. So the more you pour yourself into those resources, the more you'll learn. And again, just to recap, we covered Facebook and Google Analytics, AdWords, Analytics, Dashboard, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, creating a target audience. Now, all of these have different features for creating a target audience, and I think Facebook is the one that's just the easiest. You can really pick all sorts of great details about the people you want to advertise towards. So let's say you wanted to advertise between 21-year-olds and 50-year-olds. And let's see, you wanted them all to be people who live in this location. Okay, and you could add, you can add so much as it comes down. You can also do suggestions for demographics. So say you want everyone who likes comic books or newspapers. And so you can see the potential of who you could be getting, your audience definition. So some of it's broad, some of it's specific. So spend some time, and if you decide to do an ad, go on the cheap side. Learn at a less expensive rate, and then you could learn basically who likes your ads, and continue to build your ads flexible in Animatron so that you can actually put them on different platforms using. Remember, you can always refer to websites like this that have little design specifications. Also, when you're doing ads, they'll tell you what kind of design specification it is, what that they'll need, and so that's the flexibility you have when you're designing something in Animatron, that you can always go and go, oh, I guess they changed that, so I guess I can change that in Animatron, save that out as my Facebook ad, and then export out the video or export out the image. All right. And I hope this all has been helpful. There's just a lot to learn, and so please don't feel overwhelmed. This is just to give you an idea of all the tools that are available to you. I'll see you all later on in the course.